Are you tired of buying underwhelming lenses? I mean, glass that just promises you the world, but when you stick it on your camera, the look is just not quite there. Whether they're, the Vazen, the Suri, the DZO, the SLR Magic, all these companies that are promising you cine quality, but it's not quite there. Or is it like the Canons, the Takinas, the Sigmas that are just giving you that sterile look? And you don't got like $30,000 to, splurge on like Cook Primes or whatever. What is the answer? And the answer is Contax, Carl Zeiss Contax vintage glass. Now this glass was made in the 70s. Basically it was contracted by Contax, a Japanese film camera company that contracted Carl Zeiss to make them lenses. And then these lenses became legendary because at the same time Carl Zeiss made the Super Speeds. And this is basically, the Super Speeds are rehoused versions of these lenses. Roger Deakins used them in one of his first films. I mean, not this set particularly, but these Contax. And that's the cinematographer who filmed 1917 and, Sicario and just great movies. He's all of Fargo, just all about the image. And now they've just got legendary status. And the great thing about them, you can pick them up, or you used to pick them up about $200 each. Some of them are a bit more expensive at $2,000, but still a set like this, even with the modification done by Ducleus lenses, and like in this case, it's just beautiful mods, Ducleus lenses, they do a really great job. And thanks to my mate for bringing them over so we can have a play with it. These are just really great glass, and he obviously, loves it and can't say enough good things about it. And basically you pick them up for about $4,000 or $5,000 and off you go, and you have a whole set that you can work with. And the value of this set is just gonna go up because unlike this kind of novelty glass, like with the Suri and the Vazen, that, the new thing, the later thing is gonna come out, the better anamorphic's gonna come out, this lens is just gonna drop by the wayside, like the SLR Magic or the Sam Yangs or whatever, These lenses are just gonna get more and more expensive. They're gonna rise in value because the quality and the build of these lenses, all the metaling and stuff, and the image they produce, I mean, the 3D wrap, the micro contrast, the just the saturation and just the things like that, just the image look of it, that cine feel, it just can't be replicated today because I think it would just cost so much money to actually do it. So lenses are a great investment, much better than a camera, and they're really that extra touch that you need to add to your camera to give it that cine feel. So if you're not getting those images you want from your Komodo, this might be one of the reasons, because like, let's just put it in a comparison. A Takina, right, is like 11 to 20 is also a photo lens. And when you buy the Cine one, it's just the rehoused photo lens, and you're paying like $3,000 for a rehoused photo lens. That the image quality, it doesn't have that 3D wrap and stuff like that. And although the Sigma Arts are better, they're about like $7,000 for the Cine version, like of the 18 to 35. In my opinion, there's a color cast and they still underperform. They have the sharpness, so for certain projects they are good, but they don't have that cine feel because these, the Super Speeds, which are these like the rehoused versions of these, they're going for about $30,000. So just to put that in perspective, it's about 3-4 times more than the Sigmas. So you're buying into glass, like that's 30,000 a single lens. So the quality is out there. But don't take my word for it. We're going to do some lens tests in a minute. I'll just break down the set. Make sure you subscribe because we're going to do Canon FDs, and I'm going to also look at R3D files and how to properly color correct them, because I know you guys are throwing away your Komodo, selling it. Don't do it. You need to learn how to color correct first. So make sure you subscribe, watch my video, and I'll really show you how to pull those colors out of your Komodo and kick some ass. So basically, let's break down this set. This set is made out of basically 2 lens sets. So there's 2 telephoto, 2 mids, and 2 wides. And we're actually filming right now with the 21 wide, so that you can see how it's performing on my skin and everything, and just how it's looking. You can see it's very sharp. And so basically the reason there's 2 sets of lenses in one kit of 6 is so you can split them up into 2 cameras. All of them are Japanese except for one, I think the AE, so they have what we call the Ninja Bokeh. But let's get stuck into the lens test, because I know that's what you guys want to see. We have a whole bunch of these lens tests, checking everything, testing it all. So let's get stuck into that, and I'll see you guys afterwards. All right. So I hope you enjoyed those lens tests. I certainly had a lot of fun getting to know these lenses and seeing all their quirks, all their characteristics. So what are my impressions? What are my takeaways from this lens set? So first of all, its size. It just has an amazing gimbal size. Contax actually specifically asked Carl Zeiss to make them small lenses, like travel-friendly lenses, and these lenses are just great for gimbal work, you know, small cameras, mirrorless cameras, things like, you know, the Komodo, the compact cinema camera world. These lenses are awesome, especially by today's prime standards. I mean, today's primes are big. You know, these are full frame and they're so tiny. You know, anything like today, anything full frame of that's modern, it's going to be big. It's going to be much bigger than this. So the other sort of impressions, so basically they perform not ideally throughout the sort of iris range. So obviously at 1.4, they're not sharp. This is another characteristics of these lenses. They're sharp in the center. They have like a fall off around the edges. They don't vignette so much, but they definitely lose sharpness around the edges. But once you stop down for 5.6, that's their sweet spot. So that's another takeaway. All these lenses have a 5.6 sweet spot. I felt like they were really good color matching, not really any problems. They're mostly Japanese. All of them are Japanese except one, this 85, which is a West German, more revered, more harder to get. And I felt more neutral in color. So that's just one thing to keep in mind when you may be purchasing them. Also, like this one, it hasn't got mint condition, it's got a damaged coating or something. It did flare a little bit more and it had a bit of a mist kind of feel to it where the highlights bloomed, not so much on the other ones. So just something to keep in mind when you're checking condition. What are the cons? So the cons, that's the cons. You have to first of all mod these lenses and they're hard to find good condition ones. You might have to test them out, send them back. You can't, sometimes they could be expensive, the really mint ones. Definitely I felt the 1.4s performed much better than the 2.8s, had a nicer bokeh. They have a problematic bokeh with the Ninja star shaped. I don't know if that's something that you like or not like. Obviously you can stop down, or if you stop up to about 5, 6, 8, it does disappear as well. Honestly, the look of them was beautiful. I had no problem with any of their aesthetics. They had beautiful 3D wrap. They had a beautiful sort of like, you know, they're not as saturated as the Canon FDs. They have a more neutral saturation, but very filmic, very cinematic, beautiful wrap, very sharp. So that's another con. They're probably not as sharp as your Sigmas or your like, you know, Otises. They're not really perfect for stuff like real estate, landscape, or just real modern stuff, but they do sharpen up around 5.6 and they're sharp around the center. I feel you could use them for any kind of work, but definitely your interviews, your skin tones, anything that has more of like an artistic cinematic feel, these are ideal for. So who are they for? They're for somebody that's looking for better image quality, somebody who's trying to step up their game, got their Komodo, wants to really pull the best out of it, any kind of mirrorless cameras, gimbal users. These are your lenses. If you're not getting the image result you want from your Komodo, using things like Takina sterile lenses or whatever, Canons, these are the lenses you should be looking into. These are the Carl Zeiss Super Speed equivalents for, you know, much less money. So where to buy them? Buy them on eBay, shop around. There are a lot of them come from Japan. Make sure you look into their condition. You can send them back. Lots of them have 30 days returns. Don't worry about buying eBay. It's pretty safe. I've bought some myself. Really good experience, really good people that are selling them, and they really, you know, for the most part tell you everything about the lenses, stuff to watch out for. The gears might be a little bit short, so these have beautiful gears and stuff like that. So just make sure you're checking all that. Make sure you're checking the coating, knowing that if there is damage to the coating, it might affect your shooting. Where to mod them, Ducleus lenses, Simmons lenses do them too. You could do them yourself. The backs of these were actually changed by the owner, so you could do that too. You know, it's pretty easy. You can get a screw stuck in, then you can send it to Ducleus and whatever, they'll do it for you. That's probably another thing. You can't really use them out of the box. You have to mod them first, so they're used. You can go buy adapters. I have some Canon FDs that I'm using an adapter, an FD to RF adapter. So there is these kind of solutions. You can buy these gears and caps and just do them all yourself. or send them along. Duclears, though, I must say, did a tremendous job in modding these lenses. Everything feels smooth, beautiful, just greatly done. So yeah, but you will definitely save a lot of money and have something that is just increasing in value. If you like this and you want to see more about lenses and you know, raw files and all the good content and information that we're going to be bringing you, make sure you subscribe, make sure you give us a like. Let us know in the comments below what you thought of the test. What are your impressions? Do you own any? Do you have any experiences with the German ones, Japanese one, Contax in general? What do you think about lenses? What are your experiences with the Komodo? I don't know, just leave us a message, give us a thumbs up. See you next time. Stay safe, guys, and peace.